They're all NBA player. They're international superstar for Anthony Davis because he plays both ends of the floor. Without Kyrie Irving being there, I think Anthony Davis is going to be on the mission. I'm interested to see what he look like when he returns back to LA. I'm glad you brought that up the other day, Malika, because we haven't talked about Anthony Marshawn Davis Jr. one time on this show since the offseason.
Well, we'll be talking about him very, very soon, but I'm going to actually pick things up where you dropped them because you did drop the ball talking about the team we didn't talk about. I'm going to actually answer that question part, okay? The Orlando Magic. They made a huge move.
I like it.
The Orlando Magic is a team that I feel like with the East wide open, given the injury concerns, whether it is in Milwaukee or Indiana or now the Celtics, there's an opportunity for them to really climb up the standings. We already knew defensively they're solid. They're a top 5 defense. But did you know that this has been a bottom 10 offensive team every year since they traded Dwight Howard? Like, that is wild. Now you insert Desmond Bane, a certified three-point shooter, someone that averages 19 points and shoots nearly 40% from three. They're making the moves to win right now and fix that offense, and I love it, and I feel like we're going to be talking about them more, and we will be seeing them more, especially later in the season. Perk.
Yeah, well, not to mention we get to see them early on in the season, and Desmond Bane maybe exact some revenge in those international games that they're playing against the Memphis Grizzlies here. Shanae, I got to ask you, my good sis, from New York to Los Angeles, are we going to do it again? Are we going to do it again?
I know what you're talking about.
Because I'm just saying, when we get to see Chris Paul back in a Clippers uniform, Kawhi Leonard, where we saw him end last season, you and I both know that we are going to be pulling up to Intuit Dome because this team is utterly fascinating. They played an intriguing first-round series. You could have said, okay, yeah, we understand the matchup against Denver. We understand how hard of a time Denver gave OKC. Why couldn't that be the Los Angeles Clippers? And here's what I'm curious about, Big Perk. Is this Clippers team that we see on opening night with all the promise and excitement that is going to get Shanae Agumake and I into the building, is that the same team, knock on wood, that we're going to see finish the season, my friend?
I don't know, but I'm not banking on a bunch of senior citizens. And I keep telling you that, Malika, they're too old. As the league is going in a different direction and getting younger, we're seeing a lot of title contenders they got younger this offseason. The Clippers, they got older. Yes, they got Derrick Jones Jr. Yes, they did pick up John Collins. And I respect CP3. I'm not going to get into the all-time rankings. He is an all-time great.
Yes.
But I just don't know
top 10.
when it matters the most, health and what are their ability to defend the wing position in the postseason with all this youth. I just don't know.
Malika, we're going to do it. We always do.
We're going to do it, and this is why we're excited to see the beginning of the season, Perk. This is why it's the first game out of the gate, because that's when health should be at its peak. Hey, Perk, are you ready for it?
Always.
Coming up on NBA Today, holidays that are as synonymous for the NBA as LeBron James and Christmas Day. Because just look at the categories he leads on the day. The most games played, wins, points, you name it, he leads the category, and he gets to add to that again in 2025. Now, the Christmas Day slate, it does start at the world's most famous arena with the Knicks taking on Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers. This will be Cleveland's first Christmas Day game without LeBron since 1989. And no, that's not just a Taylor Swift reference. And in the second game of the slate, we get Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs taking on the reigning champion Thunder. Oklahoma City will be making their first Christmas Day appearance since 2018. Now, the midway point of the slate, you get a quick cup of coffee before this one. That's where you see Cooper Flagg making his Christmas debut against Steph Curry and the Warriors. Flagg will be the first #1 pick to play on Christmas Day as a rookie since LeBron did it in 2003. So that brings us to the fourth game of the day. That's where, Shanae, yes, you get your Rockets. Kevin Durant and LeBron James. This will be the 5th time that LeBron and KD will meet on Christmas, and the first time since 2018. That was when Durant was a Warrior. And that brings us to our nightcap. That's when we'll see Anthony Edwards and the Wolves head to Denver to face Nikola Jokic's Nuggets. Jokic is one of 2 players to ever have a 40-point triple-double on Christmas. That was back in 2022. So all in all, the 5 games on Christmas Day, they will feature 17 All-Stars from last season. This is a real treat. All starting with Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers taking on the Knicks. in the Garden. And it'll be the first Cavs Christmas Day game, as we mentioned, since 2018. And y'all, I just love this. This is what Donovan Mitchell posted last year on social media. He said, Christmas game soon. Fast forward 1 year, and the Cavaliers, they will be in New York on the holiday, and Donovan Mitchell posted celebrating that full circle moment here. So the Cavaliers and Knicks far and away the favorites to win the East. That's according to ESPN Bet. They are also the only two Eastern Conference teams, friends, that play on the first ESPN doubleheader and on Christmas Day. So of all the teams, we just get two in the Eastern Conference, which says a lot about the state of the conference right now, Perk. When you look at these two teams, which has more pressure, do you think, to come out of the East? Because it better be one of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the Cavs when you talking about overall team, because they did win 64 games last season, and then they got spanked by the Indiana Pacers. So unfortunately, no one's going to give a damn what they do in the regular season. Now, when you talk about players, which players under the most pressure to deliver, that's Karl Anthony Towns. Like, it's time for him to deliver. There's been a lot of criticism when it comes down to, Luka Doncic and what he did defensively and being in shape. Well, Cat falls in that category. Cat is a walking bucket. He's one of one. Arguably the best shooting big we've ever seen. He's really, really skilled, but that's not what he needs to correct. He needs to correct his ability to get up and down the floor, be able to slide those puppies, because he was getting cooked in the pick and roll. Now you have a new coach. You went on the podcast. You say you and Mike Brown met for about 2 hours. Y'all on the same page. Damn it, all eyes on you. You in America. You gotta deliver.
I would say it's not just Cat. Yes, as a player, being the X factor, Cat absolutely. And I believe this new coach will have, make a system where he's more comfortable shooting threes, because we saw him move away from that, especially in the playoffs. But I think there's pressure on everybody in New York, especially when you make a move, losing Coach Thibodeau, and then now adding a new coach. And then there's questions about the usage, and there's questions about, okay, supporting cast, where did OG go? Where did Mikhail go when they needed them the most? Because Brunson, we know what we're gonna get from him. But now it's about designing a new system that works for everybody and just not one player. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on New York overall, knowing that the East is wide open once again. The Cavs, in my opinion, are the favorites, and they should be the favorites. You have the coach of the year, 64 wins. You retain Don. You extend Don a year ago. Now you have Evan Mobley, who got the bag, especially after getting the award. They have the supporting cast. I mean, the problem with the Cavs was that they were not healthy at the right time, which was the end of the season. A couple of players being out during the postseason messed up their rhythm. If they're healthy, this is the team to beat. And they were designed. I mean, you said something crazy last year, but wasn't that crazy? You said, hey, they're so good they make you forget about the past, because you feel like the present, they can win and turn that page away from the Cavs of the past, which they've been living in for almost a decade now. 2016, that championship. They have an opportunity to really do that this year as favorites, when a number of the teams they thought would be good actually are a little bit down.
No, and they should be the favorites, right? And that's why I said, unfortunately, whatever they do in the regular season, they could win 70 games. No one's going to give a damn. They're going to be like, we're gonna evaluate them, what they do in the postseason, because again, a Donovan Mitchell-led team has never been to a conference finals. Karl Anthony Towns also. We just saw Mikal Bridges. Didn't he get an extension? OG Anunoby, he's locked in. He got his extension last offseason. Jalen Brunson as well. So when you think about Cat, you think about moving him for Julius Randle, you got him to move the needle. Not saying that he didn't, because they had a successful season this year, but if you're trying to take that jump, it's going to be on the back of Karl Anthony Towns, because we know what Big Body Brunson going to do. Where your buzz at? You don't have your little thing in there? Big Body Brunson.
What about Big Body Brunson?
That was a perfect Carter Perkins impression. What about Big Body Brunson? What I did like that the Knicks did this offseason, friends, though, and everyone, by the way, I'm sitting here in the studio here in New York, everyone just perked up a little bit when we said what I like about what the Knicks did. Everyone here in New York, the expectations are sky high. It doesn't matter if it hasn't done this in 25 years, this, that, and the other. That's the feeling around the city. What they did is they went out and addressed their bench scoring. That is a huge part of having this durability that the Cavaliers didn't seem to have, even though they're incredibly deep over the course of an 82-game season. But Perk, if you are looking for maybe something to point to about Christmas Day and Madison Square Garden and big men going crazy, since that's what you're calling for, right, from Karl Anthony Towns, you remember this? Victor Wembanyama He made history. He finished with 42 points, 18 rebounds in the 3-point loss to the Knicks in his Christmas debut. This year, he'll be in Oklahoma City taking on Chet Holmgren and the defending champs. So I ask you, Perk, Sinead, do you think it's time we go a little shot for shot on the battle of the big men?
Yes, it has been a minute, big bro, little sis. Time to go shot for shot. We gotta work on our handshake, right? Because when it comes to these two players, baby, now we got a little bad blood. I'm gonna take Victor Wembanyama. Perk is gonna take Chet Holmgren. And I'll show you why, because we already know offensively these guys are growing and improving. They're rising stars. But defensively, they're both rim protectors. They're shot blockers. And they are X factors for their teams to take the next step. I'm going to start with Victor Wembanyama. What is he going to bring defensively, especially when it comes going up against his rivals? Since back in those U16 days, they're not new to this, they're true to this. Watch him, in the words of Perk, play the passing lane, but most importantly, slide those puppies. Victor Wembanyama, the last 2 seasons, led the NBA in blocks. He missed 36 games. Last year, he still led the NBA with 176 blocks, especially right there. You see that beautiful one on his rival. Now, I know Victor doesn't have the championship, but he is probably the guy of the future.
And then here comes Slim, that done it on the big stage, but when he match up against Wemby, it's personal. He's guarding Chris Paul, but at the same time, he's watching Victor. Don't want him to get nothing. Look at the elevation on this 7'5" alien. And then turns to get back to the play with verticality to me Sohan at the rim, and then all of a sudden you go another way. Talk about taking it personal. You talk about sliding those puppies. Look at Chet Holmgren right there. No one else in the league, probably maybe Giannis, could slide and get a contest on Victor like Chet Holmgren, and it is personal.
You're right, it is personal because right now Chet has more wins than Victor in this head-to-head matchup. They're pretty the same when it comes to points per game, but rebounding is where Victor separates, and of course block shots. Nonetheless, every time these guys suit up, it's always cinema, popcorn, because we know they're gonna bring it. Victor will have one soon, but yeah, he's got some work to do to catch up with Chet and company, Malika.
Yeah, around NBA Today, we do make sure to note rings as well. We mentioned this, the rest of the Christmas Day slate, it will feature 6 Western Conference teams who should be right in the thick of things come December. The Mavs, the Warriors, the Rockets, the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Timberwolves closing out the holiday. But the great thing about Christmas Day, we always get excellent highlights here. We've had the pleasure of broadcasting 23 straight Christmas Day games here on ESPN and ABC. So as we go into year 24, let's take a little look at the top here today.
Let's go. Ooh, come on. Okay, do you guys remember the jerseys? This is top gift wrap, okay? Top gift wrap. You remember those, the t-shirt jerseys?
And that was skinny
we can't
brawn,
forget.
too.
They're seared into our memory.
Oh, man, that was clean with the left. And then, is that where he ripped it afterward? I'm not sure. It was probably the muscles. Like, you're going to have it too, Perk. You're going to have those problems too.
Sinead, we love a sweet treat.
We do love a sweet treat, and I love Tracy McGrady as well, even though he's in a different uniform, the Magic finger roll. Nice finger roll, Perk.
Walking buckets.
Ooh, split the D. Oh, my gosh. Come on.
Can we go ahead and give that to John Wall, his signature lay? I feel like
yes,
we have so
I agree, the 360 and the best intro ever with the Jamal Crawford.
Did you see it?
Man, and he could have kept playing. Let's be real here, right?
Yeah, he still could.
The crossover. All right, stocking stuffers coming through.
Oh, D-Wade off the vert.
Yeah.
Hey, love, watch your head.
Nice assist. Nice assist right there with the miss, because that was a perfect bounce. Oh, it's your friend.
Oh. I see you are Jizzle.
Sorry, Clay. But Clay's winning these days, so it's all good.
Did you say R Jizzle?
Yeah, R Jizzle.
I was going to say something else. Aaron Gordon. Oh, man.
Did we decide this is Air Gordon? Is that what we've decided this is being dubbed?
Air Gordon, absolutely 2022, yes, for sure.
We needed its own, Mary Mamba needed its own category.
Absolutely, 1999. Oh, my gosh.
Body to body.
Oh, and that's the elder, Mr. Jackson, not the younger. Kobe, we love you. And this one on the Suns. Oh, man, that's tough. Come on. Look at that.
About her progress. Take a listen.
No return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more in her full court running, with all her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to then building some endurance. to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little bit more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice yet, no.
All right, so that's the latest on Caitlin Clark. Remember, she's missed 19 games this season, and that's the most she's missed in her career at any level we're talking. And Indy is just 10-9 in those games.